And whatever about
body
that,
shot,
I've changed. I'm a different fighter now. From the last time, you guys are going to see that, whole world's going to see that I've changed, I'm improved, and I'm just a new, hungrier version of myself.
And you're going to do it for the British fans?
Of course.
Oleksandr Usyk's shock split with longtime promoter Alex Krassyuk just weeks before his high-profile rematch with Daniel Dubois has left the boxing world in a frenzy.
Very quickly, Alex Krassyuk, you and him had a long tenure together, fantastic career. No longer working together. Are you able to elaborate on why?
Listen, we not break with my relationship with Alex. I have, I build business.
The Ukrainian heavyweight champion, known for his disciplined, strategic approach inside the ring, recently opened up about parting ways with the man who helped guide his career to the pinnacle of boxing. Usyk's statement hinted at a deeper business relationship that continues despite the separation in the world of boxing promotion. While many fans were blindsided by the timing of the split, which occurred just weeks before Usyk's eagerly awaited rematch with Dubois, Usyk was quick to clarify that their departure from the boxing business wasn't an acrimonious one. He explained that although Krassyuk would no longer serve as his promoter in the sport, their professional ties would continue in other ventures.
You know, Usyk 17, Alex Krassyuk now work this is company. Yeah, we stop relationship with some of the relationship with boxing, but Alex helped me in another work. Yeah, we work a lot of years, 12. We win great trophy. But we continue work, but different work.
But as much as Usyk's career has evolved beyond his relationship with Krassyuk, the upcoming fight with Dubois looms large. The rematch, which takes place at Wembley Stadium, is expected to be one of the most significant events in the heavyweight boxing division this year. Usyk, who currently holds the WBC, WBA, and WBO titles, is seeking to solidify his claim as the undisputed heavyweight champion. His first encounter with Dubois, which took place in August 2023, ended controversially when a body shot from Dubois was ruled a low blow, allowing Usyk to recover and eventually win the fight by a 9th round stoppage. Despite the win, the controversy surrounding the low blow left some lingering questions about how the fight might have played out under different circumstances.
I ready all situation, but I not think about my first fight because it was in the past. Now we have a new fight. Maybe, I don't know, but I not think about this. Maybe Daniel do it again, but for me it doesn't matter because it's God's will. But I ready. I training long time. I have good protect in my both. Doesn't matter.
Now, with both fighters preparing for a rematch, Dubois is confident he's learned from his first fight with Usyk. He admits that the loss to Usyk still stings, but he insists that he is a vastly improved fighter. Reflecting on his previous performance, he openly concedes that the shot, which was ruled a low blow, wasn't his best, and he feels that the public perception of the fight didn't give him the credit he deserved. Despite his growing confidence, Dubois has a more reserved approach to the lead up to the rematch. He admits that the fight seems to have flown under the radar compared to other high-profile matchups in the heavyweight division.
And you think it gets the best out of you once you're in front of a crowd better than...
Of course it does. Sink or swim, innit?
Because also as well, it's not like you've just had a completely carefree run at it. You had to come back from that first defeat where everyone gave you crap.
Yeah.
That must have annoyed you.
Oh, man.
Really?
Forget about it.
Everyone?
Just
Who's your close
don't
mate?
Don't listen to all the noise.
How long did you do this?
How do you feel now?
How do I feel?
How do I feel?
Can I be honest with you? The worst I've ever felt. In total, that training to this now, I'm normally he's gone. What is that?
One of the most notable voices in favor of Dubois' potential to challenge Usyk is Lawrence Okoli. The cruiserweight champion, who has a keen understanding of the heavyweight landscape, has stated that Dubois' youth and raw power make him a serious threat. Okoli is particularly impressed by Dubois' explosive energy, which could put Usyk under significant pressure early in the fight. The British fighter's knockout power, combined with a renewed sense of confidence following some important wins, has given Okoli reason to believe that Dubois could disrupt Usyk's rhythm from the outset.
Dubois Usyk, how does that go?
I'll do this every single time and say that someone's going to beat Usyk. I think at this stage, Dan is. I think it's going to come down to youth. But Dan's very, very intense. He's on a high right now. He's going to have Don Charles in his corner screaming him on. So Usyk is definitely a talented boxer. We've seen it. He's one of the best we've seen. Movement and keeping someone under mental pressure. However, if someone's not thinking about that and you're not able to hurt them, although he did stop him in the last fight, in this fight, if he comes in with that kill or be killed mentality and just keeps on going from round 1 to round 12, at some point I just think he's going to catch Usyk, and then it could be the beginning of the end. That's my thoughts. I mean, Usyk has got a black eye. We've never seen him with a black eye before. Is it because he's 37? I don't know. But I don't know. I just can't see how he's able to keep doing it.
However, not all observers share this optimism. Kevin Lena, a fighter who has shared the ring with Dubois, offers a more measured perspective. While he agrees that Dubois' jab and punching power are formidable, Lena expresses concerns about how the fight will unfold in the later rounds. He points to Usyk's ability to adjust as the rounds progress, a skill that has served the Ukrainian champion well in past bouts. Lena suggests that if Dubois doesn't manage to hurt Usyk early on, the fight could turn in the latter stages, where Usyk's superior technical skills and adaptability could come into play.
Any heavyweight or any fighter gets hit by Daniel will have a hard time. He really punches hard. I mean, it's obvious, There's a reason why he knocked out Anthony Joshua in sparring. He's dropped many fighters in sparring because he's a massive puncher. So I think if you can avoid that big punch and boxing and hurt him and put him on the back foot, you got a chance to beat Daniel Dubois.
Carl Froch, a seasoned veteran of the sport, takes a more neutral stance on the rematch but leans slightly in favor of Usyk. Froch acknowledges that both fighters have made strides since their first encounter, with Dubois showing significant improvements in his technique and gaining confidence in his abilities. However, Froch gives the edge to Usyk, citing the champion's experience and technical expertise. He also raises concerns about Usyk's age and the toll that his long career, particularly his recent battles with Tyson Fury, might have taken on him. Despite this, Froch's respect for Usyk's abilities leads him to believe that the Ukrainian's technical superiority will ultimately be the deciding factor.
So, as I mentioned at the start, I'm here for the rematch for Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois, second time. The first time they fought, Dubois got stopped with a heavy, stiff-looking jab from the southpaw position, and people questioned his desire and heart for the game, saying that he kind of quit. I mean, he did get dropped with a right hand, and he did just stand up in time, like 9 seconds, and the referee waved it off. But he had a really good fight. He really did give Usyk something to think about. He hit him with that low blow. It was borderline. It wasn't straight in the crown jewels, but it was a low blow, and the referee declared it no knockdown. And a big fuss and song and dance was made about it being a low blow. Frank Warren made a big deal about it, and fair enough. I mean, Dubois put Usyk on the floor, and it was borderline. And you've probably seen everything. It was ruled a low blow, so it didn't go in Daniel Dubois' favour. Usyk got 4 or 5 minutes to recover, climbed off the floor, and then ended up stopping Daniel Dubois with a solid right hand. I think it was round 9, and yeah, won the fight, defended his titles. But this is the rematch, and Dubois is a different animal. He's a better fighter now. He's had some great wins against Gerald Miller, Hrgovic. He absolutely splattered Anthony Joshua. We've seen that fight, and he's now full of confidence. He's on the crest of a wave, and he's a guy now getting into the ring really, really solidly, believing in himself. He's like a new fighter. He's now IBF world champion. He's not beaten the champ to get the title. It's like he's getting a bit of stick from the boxing purists, saying that he's an email champ.
In a surprising twist, heavyweight contender Gage Ang, who was previously an ardent supporter of Usyk's style, has now switched sides. Jang has openly backed Dubois to pull off an upset in this rematch, a prediction that has raised eyebrows given Usyk's impressive reign in the heavyweight division. Jaang's support for Dubois reflects a growing belief in the British fighter's potential to dethrone Usyk, suggesting that the younger and stronger fighter might have what it takes to disrupt the champion's dominance.
Do you believe that you would knock Anthony Joshua out?
如果说这场比赛真的发生了，你觉得你能把约书亚给干掉吗？
绝对能干掉。
Absolutely.
Usyk Dubois next week, who wins?
预测一下下周乌西克和杜博。
以前我都是预测乌西克会赢，但是这一次我还是比较喜欢杜博。
Well, I used to be a fan of Usyk's style. I still am, but this time I'm favoring Dubois.
Andy Lee, the former world champion and trainer to Tyson Fury, shares a similar sentiment to Jang. Lee praises Dubois for the improvements he's made since his loss to Joe Joyce, particularly his newfound confidence and a string of knockout victories. However, Lee still favors Usyk, acknowledging that the champion's vast experience, including his successful reign at the top of the heavyweight division, will likely prove too much for Dubois. Despite the praise for Dubois' power, Lee believes that Usyk's superior ring intelligence will give him the edge in this rematch.
I don't know. I think Dubois has as good a chance as anybody at the moment because he's on a good roll. He's going to come trying to steamroll Usyk. Unless Usyk's got old overnight, I don't see him slipping up. It's a good fight, two good champions, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Tony Bellew, who was defeated by Usyk in a one-sided affair, offers a more critical take on Dubois' chances. Bellew, who knows Usyk's psychological game well, argues that Dubois has a tendency to fold under pressure. He recalls Dubois' knee injury in his first loss to Joe Joyce, suggesting that the British fighter might crumble again if the going gets tough. According to Bellew, Usyk's technical mastery and ability to control the pace of the fight will shine through, leaving Dubois with little room to impose his raw aggression. Bellew believes that the rematch will likely be another dominant victory for Usyk, who has consistently demonstrated his ability to perform under pressure.
So we've seen them do the wrong things in the past. We've seen him take a knee, whatever have you. But the best way to explain Daniel Dubois is he's a 27-year-old veteran. He's experienced everything the boxing can throw at him. He's been dropped, he's been down, he's been stopped, and he's found a way back. And he's now on the back of his biggest ever victories. He's on his best ever run. You know, the victory over AJ was something else. For me, I think Daniel Dubois' big chance here is the first six.
He carries his power late though.
No, he does, but
slows down a bit, doesn't he?
It's not that he slows down. It's up here with me.
Well, yeah, you're right.
It's all the problems are all up here because I think as a fighting specimen, as an athletic specimen, the boy's a machine.
Dave Allen, a heavyweight who has sparred with Usyk, offers a different perspective. While he acknowledges Dubois' power and potential danger, Allen believes that Usyk's superior boxing IQ will ultimately make the difference. According to Allen, Dubois would need to do more than just land a big punch. He would have to outbox Usyk, something few fighters have managed to do. Allen's prediction highlights the importance of strategy and ring intelligence in a fight with someone as skilled as Usyk.
I think Dubois is going to beat him. That's my early prediction. I know a lot of people will obviously fancy Usyk, and rightfully so. And as much as I like Dubois and think he's getting better and all the rest of it, I'd like to see Usyk win. I think Usyk's a great fella and a great fighter, but I think Dubois will win.
David Haye, a former world champion, adds another layer to the discussion by pointing out the significance of the fight's timing. Haye believes that fighting in London in front of a home crowd could provide Dubois with a mental advantage. He also suggests that Usyk's extensive career, particularly his exhausting battles with Fury, could leave him vulnerable. Given Usyk's advancing age and the wear and tear from his recent wars in the ring, Haye believes that Dubois could take advantage if Usyk shows any signs of decline. However, Haye is careful not to underestimate Usyk's adaptability, especially in rematch situations, which makes the outcome of the fight even more unpredictable.
You know, he's got a shot, he's got a massive shot, but how do you bet against someone who's never lost? He doesn't know what it's like to lose. But I think if there's ever a chance for Dubois to beat someone like Usyk, it's now with the momentum he's got, you know, at home. He's got everything in his favour, and you know, Usyk has got nothing to gain really because he's already beat. But he done the same thing with Tyson Fury and AJ. Gave them both rematches and done it better the second time round. So I'm really intrigued in this fight, and you know, everyone's going to be behind Daniel Dubois. You know, he's a great guy. straight down the line, but he's fighting a wizard. He's fighting someone who doesn't know what it's like to lose. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Usyk victory, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Usyk starts showing signs of age, hard training camps, all those amateur fights, world championships, amateur, the WSB. He's done so much, so many rounds on the clock, so many miles on the clock. He's pristine, but there's a lot of miles on the clock.
Fraser Clark, another heavyweight who has sparred with Usyk, isn't as optimistic about Dubois' chances. Clark acknowledges Dubois' punching power, but emphasizes that it won't be enough to overcome Usyk's superior technique and intelligence. For Clark, the key to beating Usyk lies not in brute strength, but in tactical execution and strategy. He believes that Dubois will need to display far more than just raw aggression to have a chance against someone with Usyk's skill set. Clark feels that Usyk's ring IQ will be the ultimate factor in this fight, tipping the scales in the champion's favor.
It gives a lot more. It's a different Dubois, it's a different fight. I think he gives a lot more problem. I think he's got a lot more confidence. I think he's starting to realise when he hits things, things fall over. You know, if he hits them often enough and clean enough, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're Usyk or whoever else. I know he's a tough man, Usyk, but if Daniel hits you often enough and hard enough, you break. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Saying that, I know he's in great form and that, but this Usyk, mate, he's the real deal, mate. So no one just get giddy and get too excited about Daniel, mate. We're talking about the real deal, and Oleksandr Usyk. When he needs to be tough and tough, and when he needs to be super smart, he's that as well. But I think Daniel, with the wave of confidence he's got, would cause him more problems now than he did before, definitely.
Former world champion Prince Nasim Hamemed provides a more favorable take on Dubois' chances. Hamemed points out that the first fight wasn't as one-sided as many people remember. He believes the controversial low blow that disrupted Usyk's rhythm was a turning point, and if Dubois can maintain the intensity and power he displayed during their first encounter, he could pose a serious challenge to the champion. Hamemed suggests that Dubois' unpredictability and willingness to take risks could make the rematch even more dangerous for Usyk than it was the first time.
Do you think both of them coming off losses? It's the fight we always wanted to see as domestic boxing fans.
Yeah, I suppose that fight is right there, and everybody still wants to see it. But to be honest, we've still got Daniel Dubois, and I was sat next to Daniel Dubois.
Triple D, baby.
Triple D, baby, all day, every day. Let me just tell you this. In my eyes, for me, he's the only one. Triple D is the only one, Daniel Dubois is the only one that's ever hurt Usyk and put him down on the floor, made him think. And he was down there for like 3-4 minutes. So who's to say that once he fights Usyk again, to go out there and absolutely destroy him and bring our belts back to our country like it's supposed to be.
On the other hand, Adam Booth has been vocal about his fighter's progress. Booth credits the loss to Joe Joyce for forcing Dubois to rethink his approach and adopt a more disciplined and tactical style. He believes that Dubois has become a much more complete fighter, no longer relying solely on his raw power, but incorporating a more well-rounded strategy into his game. Booth is confident that Dubois' evolution as a boxer will make him a much tougher opponent for Usyk than he was in their first fight.
How do you see this one, Adam, playing out? Different to the first one. I can make much more of an argument for Dubois in this fight.
Me too.
Firstly, because he actually had success in the first fight.
He did. Do you think it was a low blow?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You do think it was a low blow?
Absolutely was. If you look,
you do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry, you caught me out then with the question. If you watch, it lands low, and while it's got contact with the shorts, it actually rides up at the point of impact.
So I've no use to my argument.
But it's irrelevant because they're going to fight again. Yeah. Usyk won the first time, and as he said, he won by stoppage. But Daniel Dubois is a different fighter now. Fighting is 90% mental, and he is a completely different fighter mentally. He lets his hands go with freedom. He now trusts his engine because he had those rounds with Jarrell Miller that tested his engine. Yeah. So he's kind of ticked the little boxes along the way, old school style.
Ricky Hatton, a longtime observer of the heavyweight scene, also believes that Dubois has made significant strides since their first encounter. Hatton sees the loss to Joyce as a pivotal moment in Dubois' career, forcing him to reevaluate his approach and become more focused and determined. Hatton argues that with the discipline and resolve Dubois has shown since then, the rematch will be a much more competitive affair than the first fight.
Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois, what do you make of that fight, the rematch?
I think it's the best fight. I think they're the best two heavyweights in the world, and there was a bit of controversy with the last time, which goes with the grain in boxing, doesn't it? A bit of controversy, but no, I think Daniel's got a better chance than he had the first time. Yeah, what with the win off Joshua, that his confidence is massively up. Well, when he fought Usyk last time, he come off the defeat from Joyce, and but now he's absolutely flying. He's got as good a chance. Better chance than he had the first time around, I think.
As the fight draws closer, the anticipation is palpable, and it's clear that no matter the outcome, this will be a defining moment in both of their careers. Whether Usyk will retain his undisputed status or Dubois will finally ascend to the throne remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, the heavyweight division is about to witness an unforgettable showdown.